Hello, this is Uncle Jim. Today's project is to recharge these decanters for the safe, and while I'm in it, might as well talk about a few things. All right, so I really like these. These are made by Canon. I'm sure they're similar brands, but they're big. You can see my hand size, and they last a lot longer to keep the moisture out of your safe. So I have used these plug-in types where whenever they turn pink, you plug them into the wall and recharge them until they turn blue again. However, these little guys do not, you're constantly changing them, especially if you're in a moist environment. Here's a big one. I really don't like how this plugs in. It's very awkward. But again, you're constantly pulling them out and having to recharge them and dry them out. All right, so I went to these. These, you get at Tractor Supply or get them online or whatever. But these are nice big canisters and they last a long time. Now, I live in a dry environment. I used to live in a moist environment, and there's a big difference, of course. These little guys you're changing constantly in a moist environment. The plug-in is convenient, but it's just as easy to throw them in the oven, okay? So I do like the bigger ones here, and I mark them per safe, and number 2 always turns pink faster. And I think it's just probably the little material in here that's just burning out or something, I don't know. Where these are still kind of a little purple pink, and that's why I mark them, switch them around. But I'm starting to think it's the material inside. Doesn't last as long. Now in a dry environment, I can go like 6 months. Wintertime, maybe a little faster before I have to put them in the oven. And you put them in for 325 for a few hours until they turn blue again. Just follow the directions on the bottom. Okay. Anyway. So there's that. They take up a lot of room. They take up a lot of space. I mean, this guy is 5 inches long, wide, and about 3 3/4 high. So that takes up some room. But in between your rifles, you can find a little corner to set it in there. And they work really good. So thumbs up for these. I would definitely recommend these over the other kind. Also, you have heat bars. And I used to have heat bars, and we used to sell a ton of heat bars. But if you're only using a heat bar in a moist environment, humid environment, what do you think it's doing? It's creating a sauna in your safe, which doesn't have a lot of venting. So all that steam is going to the top and getting to your pistols. So if you use a heat bar, I still recommend using one of these. And I found there's no need for heat whatsoever. You're just sucking moisture. So this is a lot easier. You don't have to wire it to the wall, use the hole in the back of the safe and all that. And it's cheaper. So that's just my take. You guys can do whatever you want. This is after years of use. I used to sell safes, and we're going to talk about that. But I used to sell safes and the bars and the decanters and all that stuff. I really like these. I've been using these for years, and they work really good. It's recyclable. It just works great. All right, now let's go to, do you think your safe is safe? It is not, and I'll tell you why. Hang on. Okay, so do you think your safe is safe? And I will tell you it is not. And I'll give you a few reasons, and then we'll talk about tumbler versus keypad. You can go out and spend several $1,000s on one small safe thinking you're all warm and cuddly. And we used to sell high-end safes, regular, mid-grade, and then cheap safes. Basically, in my opinion, A safe is to keep the kids out and any opportunist that doesn't know anything that's a dumbass, okay? Other than that, your safe isn't safe. And I'll tell you why right now. So right here is a circular saw blade made by Diablo. Anyone could get at Home Depot. This will cut a 1/2 inch of steel in minutes. I mean, it is fast. It's unbelievable. Maybe I should do a video on that and show you. And you can put them, you can get them in a smaller size and put them on a cordless hand saw or a circular saw. And then you got the good old grinders. They can't use this kind of a blade because they'll skip. So this is a Diablo here. It'll also cut through any safe you guys own. Right now, I can pretty much guarantee it quickly. This one, I'm estimating about 3 minutes. I could cut a big 2-foot square in the side of your safe or the top of your safe in 3 minutes with this. Or the smaller blade that goes on a cordless circular saw, which is very handy. This one will take a little bit longer, but it's going to do the same thing. And the beauty of these is, unlike an abrasive disc, it doesn't make a mess. It doesn't dust you out. It doesn't make this huge mess. It just cuts like you're cutting wood, okay? Pretty much. So there's that. Is your safe safe? No, it isn't. So why spend $2-3 grand on a safe other than size? They're getting into it anyway. So your best safety is being hidden, okay? If you can hide your safes where no one knows, you know, that is your best ideal thing. Otherwise, alarms, being home, all that stuff. All right, so keypad versus tumbler. Most people will say tumblers are more reliable. However, it takes a lot longer to get into your safe in an emergency. Instead of boop, 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 you got to tumble it left and right. And some of you guys know, oh crap, I missed the right. And then I got to do it over again. And I'm under stress and I'll never get in here. They are a little more reliable. However, they can crap out. When the tumblers get dirty, sometimes they'll stick and then you can't get into your safe. So it's kind of more rare than a keyboard safe. Now on a keyboard safe, you need a 9-volt battery. However, you can change it on the outside real quick and get back into it. Also, the keyboard safe will tell you when your battery's going low. It'll usually give you a double, triple beep, letting you know you got to change your battery, which is very easy. Most have a compartment where you can just pull the drawer out, change the battery, and you're back in action. Worst case scenario is something happens with the keyboard. Then you're screwed, okay? So I have yet to have a keyboard go out on me, and I'm always going in and out of my safes, always. But it does happen. And then you have to buy a replacement, pull it, wire it, do the code thing, and boom, bang, pow, and your manufacturer to help you with that. But meanwhile, you're down. So a tumbler is more reliable. However, it's not fail-safe. And I had a tumbler go out on me once. Luckily, we got into it and then took it apart from the inside and cleaned it, and then it worked again. So there's that. I hope you find this interesting. I was just in the middle of drying these things out. And so, again, if you're using a heat bar, you want something to suck that moisture as a side thing. And me personally, I just ditched the heat bars altogether because there's really no need. But you guys in really humid environments, I used to live in Washington where it was humid all the time, raining, humid. And I tell you what, these These little guys, man, you're changing these once a week or 2 weeks. But the bigger ones are going to last a lot longer. In a dry environment, boy, you can go a long time. You almost forget about them and you're like, oh, I see some pink. You know, you're playing with a rifle and, oh, okay. 6 months down the road, throw them in the oven, come back, throw them back in. All right, I hope this helps. Again, safes are for kids, keeping the kids out, looky-loos, and burglars that are opportunists that don't know anything. Most of them know, and it's very easy to get into a safe. Sorry to break the news, but if you want me to come down and show you, I'll show you. And I'll take one of these, a little smaller one of these here, on a cordless circular saw, and I'll be in there in 3 minutes, and it'll be a tin can. Thanks for watching. Until next time.